everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Legacy Evolution Voyager class Leo Prime. He is a Maximal from Beast Wars 2. We're going to go and put him off to the side, because we're going to look at this box, which is nice roaring lion there at the front. You got Legacy Evolution, plastic-free packaging, Transformers and all that stuff, and his name, he's a Maximal, and Hasbro and all that you have on the side here. You have nice robot mode shots of him, running the battle, doing, what Primes do. You got Legacy Evolution plus the QR code if you want the tech specs. That's a thing. On this side, you have, of course, the other half of the line artwork. One half of the line artwork. We got, again, breakdown, Leo Prime, Needle Nose, so on and so forth, Dinobots, all that. On the bottom, you have copyrights and what's included and all that stuff. And on the back, you have product shots and warnings. And yeah, the Evo Fusion. Marketing nonsense. Inside you have the instructions, which are pretty good, all things considered. He's actually, pretty decent done there. And yeah, there you go. So, Leo Prime. Yes, he is, the Leo Prime with Leo Convoy. Although, thanks to Synergy, I guess, or whatever, he is now Leo Prime from Beast Wars 2. And you can see him there, and he is quite good looking. Just go a little closer. You can see his head. He's got yellow eyes, which he's supposed to be goo. Actually, they're kind of more, almost calling it gold because of the blue underneath. But yeah, very prime looking face. You've got the red and blue and silver on the torso. You got the red and blue there. You got his little lion bits. Lion legs are on the back just like they're supposed to be. You got the big old shoulders, the lion butt and the lion head. All that is there. You got, the nice gunmetal, gold and blue there. You got some white, red kneecaps and the gray and the gold toes. He's got little heel spurs and all that stuff. His backpack is a little weird and and kind of looks a little weird from the back. He looks great from the front, but from the back he looks a little weird, mostly because of this. Yeah, time machine state support and this little backpack thing and all that stuff. It's there like it's supposed to be and pretty well done in the main line. So yeah, again, real well done here. Couple things. Yeah, he also has the good old, untap that, and look, he's got a little spark crystal thing. Does he even have? No, I was wondering. No, there's just a little 2 there, but he's got a little crystal thing right there, which is cool. The thing, big backpack is like it sits a little weird. I'm not sure how I want it to sit. Sometimes I think it looks a little better like that sometimes, but other times, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird backpack. I wish it, sat a little better, but it doesn't. So, at least it's on the back. It's not too bad considering, what Leo Prime usually looks like. So that's the thing. Yeah, he just generally looks real good like this. He does have a couple accessories, namely 4 guns. He's got 2 of these guns, which are kind of more like blasters. They can go his hand. No problem. Go his hands like that because they have pegs. And you have these two guns right here, which have tabs at the end. And these, what you do is you unfold the little main pieces on his arms. And these are kind of these weird hexagonal pegs, which are technically 5mm compatible, but also can hold a tab, which also, by the way, has slanted edges. So it can fit into a little hexagonal port like that. So you can have 4 blasters pointed at you, which is great. You can do all that stuff. And, yep, do that if you want. But also, nice thing is, they can store away. If you don't want them holding them, they can store away very nicely. Very nice hidden spot. It's not too obvious. So the blasters with the pegs can easily store up here. They just open that up, and yeah, also on top of that, that's I guess a mode you can do. And because they're pegs, you can also rotate them in the hole a bit. So yeah, it's kind of like like you did. But yeah, you can have those out like that. You can also rotate them forward a bit. If you want, but yeah, you can also store them right there and then close that up, and there you go. They're nice and stored away. These ones, they have to store in the back here. You can see there's 2 slots right there, and these could be a pain in the butt to honestly get these all squared away back here because they like to, because you got this tab and you got this tab right here. You got the slot and tab, and there's this tab and slot, and it's a pain because this is on a hinge, so it likes to move around a lot while you're trying to actually get the stupid thing lined up and tabbed in, but it will tab in there very securely. Yeah, basically on this side. This side, I don't know what it is, but something about this side is kind of off. But there you go, nice and stored, and there you go. Weapons are nice and stored there, so that's great. Yeah, so articulation though, he's got his head on a ball joint, so you got left and right, up and down, bit of waggle. His shoulders can move quite a bit. Oh, these big old shoulder pads. Yeah, can get away a little bit. But technically, they would be able to do 360 if this was out of the way. You kind of have to, work for it a bit, but they can do it. You got a bicep swivel. You got elbows about 90 degrees. Wrists, unfortunately, do not swivel due to how it transforms. And by the way, also these lion paws, you can bring them forward, and also, bring them forward and do the claw thing. I forgot about that. Yep, do the claw thing. That's a thing you can do, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you can do all that, and they fold nice and tucked away back here, although kind of obvious. But yeah, you got that. Waist swivel. That's pretty unhindered. Nice and tight to hips. You got forward, that far, back, that far, outward, that far. You got a thigh swivel. Knees are, well, you got that. Essentially, you got technically they're double jointed, but only this one works for this. The other joint is to move it forward. So yeah, it's not for this mode. Down here at the ankles, you have tilt, like that far tilt. And well, it's kind of an angled cut, but you can get rotation. Although, yeah, when you rotate it, it kind of starts looking a little weird. That's mostly for the transformation. And the heel spur can go up and down, so you can get, support if you need it for some particular poses. So, yep. Articulation there, plus that other mode or feature I forgot to mention for a second, but yep. So yeah, real quick, for some reason it doesn't want to stand right. Oh, I know why. Okay. Real quick comparison. Again, I normally don't do Masterpiece and mainline comparisons, but because Leo Prime, Leo Convoy is kind of a weird, rare case, make an exception. Here's the MP Leo Convoy, which just showed up on the channel just a little bit ago, thanks to weird timing. Yeah, so there's that. And yeah, I'll bring out Dark Amber when the repaint, because they've already confirmed a black repaint for him. So bring him out when that comes out. And just for the sake of it, because other leader, here's Optimus Primal Kingdom version. Just for the sake of giving you an idea there. Yep. There you go. Yeah. Those are comparisons, and going to go ahead and transform into his lion mode, which actually isn't that complicated. The cool thing is those weapons can also stay stored the entire time. You don't have to remove them. So I'm just going to leave them there just to show that. But yeah, first thing here is you want to go ahead and slide the lion head out like that, just a little bit. Then take the shoulder bits and just rotate them back. You're going to have to also bring the arms forward a bit, and then rotate these back. Going to bring this out as well. You're going to have to bring this out, and then rotate this whole assembly. You see that there's a roll assembly here. You want to rotate this around like that, so it's sitting like this, right? Go ahead and bring the arms back again like that, and then go ahead. What you want to do is separate the chest in half. You come this side of the chest first with the blue panel. You want to, that comes out first, and then this side. You want to bring those out like that, and you want to rotate these out a bit like that. His hinges, you want to use those to bring these out, so then you can bring this forward, rotate this around, and then unclip the head and fold it in like that, and then rotate the back up like that. Because if you don't bring these out, this will get caught on these hinges. So just make sure it doesn't tell you that. That's one thing the instructions don't really tell you. Yeah. Then out here, you want to go ahead and rotate the arms at the bicep like this. And then they'll go ahead and bring these up like so. And then right here, look, right here, there's a slot on the wrist right here, and there's a tab under here under the lion head. You want to go ahead and also take the hand and fold it back like this. This is what I mean by there's no wrist swivel, because, well, that's actually just a hinge. And bring that back like this, and then bring this up and into the lion mane, under the lion mane, and then just tab it in right there. It's probably going to come loose until you get all locked away, but and just get them up there like this, and then go ahead and fold this in like that, and it should sit like this. Same thing on this side. Rotate this 180, take the wrist and fold it in and slot that in like that. Bring this up, and again, tab the wrist in under the lion head like that. And this right here, this should also tab together like this, the chest piece like that. It should all sit together. Now, right here, what you want to do is extend the lion leg out, and then also unfold that like that, unclip them, fold that back like that. And then you might want to have to hold the this piece in, because otherwise the arms will like to untab themselves. You want to rotate this piece around, and there's a little slot right here which will go over this tab right here. Just do that, and then it should just tab right in like that. You can rotate the leg around like this, and then fold this back in over top like that. Then same on this side. Unclip that. Hold these pieces in. Rotate this around on the ball joint, and then again fold that down. Bring that slot over this tab. That. Rotate this out and around. It's down and clip that back in. Put that down. Kind of cover up the robot mode mush underneath with the line main. Now down here, what you want to go ahead and do is rotate the legs forward like this. Rotate at the thigh and rotate it at the ankle. Fold the heel in, and then just using those hinges, you want to clap this up until it kind of clicks into place like that. Same thing. Bring this forward. Rotate it at the thigh swivel. Rotate at the ankle here. Collapse that in. And then at the knee, use the joints, and then it'll click into place like that. And there you go. That's the back end done. Now back here, what you want to go ahead and do is bring this down. This will tab in. You see these two tabs will tab into slots right here. That, make sure it does it on both sides. Just tab that in. Like so. Might unseat the arms a bit because those don't like to tab in actually very well at all. And up here, you want to go ahead and braid this up, bring the tail out, and that'll click into place. You go ahead right here. This tab right here will go into a little slot right there. That, and then bring this down and tab this in right there. And you have the convoy in his lion mode. And yep, this is a white lion, all right. With a gold mane, as I guess he's supposed to be. You got all that stuff. You got kind of hides most of the robot bits. I mean, you got some back here. I mean, right there and right there. It's actually not actually slightly better than the masterpiece, weirdly enough, in that regard, and how it hides stuff. So it's obvious there's still robot bits, but it's actually pretty good at hiding it. The face is one thing that people aren't super thrilled with. He's just got solid gold eyes. There's no pupils or anything, and the actual shape of the face have got some people kind of upset, I guess. Honestly, I'm looking at actual pictures of lions and stuff. It's actually not that far off, really. It's just, I think people have a kind of a certain expectation of how it's supposed to look like, and you know, when reality doesn't match, they kind of go, no, that's wrong. It's maybe a little off, but I think part of it is just the golden eyes going to make it look, but it like looks fine here, and then you kind of look at it from a weird angle, and then it kind of looks all sad. But yeah, looks pretty good overall. It also got the gold toenails, but yeah, his mouth can open. Revealing nothing but more white, but his mouth can open. This is hinged, so that can move. There's a hinge here, or yeah, there's a hinge here. You got that. You can go forward and back. This can rotate. Back here, you have pretty much the same, a lot of the same lingo. So you got outward and back, and not really forward though. Back and forward, you got a rotation joint here, although again, it's kind of will do some weird things. And then you got that tilt there, and you have these as knees. Yeah, you got that, and then you got the tail can go up and down a little bit, and there's kind of a click point right there where it's supposed to sit. So you got that is the posability, and there's not really a whole lot of it there, but it does have a couple features, namely, yeah, you can do the whole thing with the guns, you know, the flip them out, and then these can fold out for the other guns, which can peg in or tab in, whatever. And speaking of, when you're going back to robot mode, normally you're going back, yeah, it's showing to go into line mode. You saw this was the blast panel put in. When you're going back, lift this up. Honestly, to lift this back panel up, it helps a lot more, because if you try to lift this one up, what happens is it tends to not want to move at all. It doesn't want to untab, so it just kind of gets caught on something. I think it's getting caught on something. I just don't know what, but most of the time when I try to move it, it just tends to pop off the hinge. Because yeah, it's actually untabbed. It's just not moving. There we go. It's tabs in here. So yeah, this kind of helps get that out of the way. So you're getting in here so you can get, you know, these guns out. Again, store in line mode. get all that stored away. But you can do that, and, you know, do that whole weird thing. It was like the lion has 4 guns, you know. You can do that if you want. That's a thing. That's just apparently from the show. I never actually got around to watching it. So yeah, that's all thing you can do. I'm not gonna waste time putting these back in, but yeah, that's the thing you can do. Yep, pretty decent line mode actually. Well, it's like a lot of the mainline Beast Wars guys, which is basically the animal mode doesn't really do much. There's maybe some posability, but for the most part, it's kind of like it's going to be in a static pose. So that's the thing. Yep, there's line mode. Real quick comparison. Here it is with the again the masterpiece, which I think this is why people's expectations for the lion face are kind of off, because the masterpiece, the lion face is kind of correct, but like not. This is more cartoony if anything, so that's something to be aware of. Yeah, you can see what I mean. Like the masterpiece version kind of has a lot of stuff going on, which kind of robot-y stuff, which this one kind of hides a little bit better. Not a whole lot better, but you can see between the two which one hides it better. But this one does have a lot more posability, so that's something. Whereas this is largely mostly pretty much static. This one does actually can move around, so that's something to be mindful of. And because why not? Here he is with Optimus Primal in his gorilla mode. Gorilla riding a lion. Yep. So yeah, that's Leo Prime from Legacy Evolution. I like him. It might rankle, some people might want to pass on him because he's Beast Wars and stuff, but he's honestly, he's pretty good. Both modes are pretty solid. His transformation is actually pretty clever. I was wondering how they're going to do, It feels pretty similar. I've never had the original toy, so I can't compare it to that, but it feels pretty similar to the Masterpiece version, just kind of, scaled down a bit. It's got some clever tricks. I do think that the way they did the lion head and tail and becoming the shoulder bits and also rotate, the rotation stuff is pretty well done. This is actually pretty simple but clever with the rear legs and everything. The only thing is maybe this stuff right here, a lot of this stuff does not want to stay tabbed together until it's all tabbed together. So that could be a little annoying. And this part right here, for whatever reason, this bit likes to stay tabbed in too easily. This tabs in too well, so it doesn't like to come undone when you're trying to transform it back to robot mode. But it does make a pretty decent lion. Not the greatest, but a pretty decent one. The robot mode's great. Transformation's, again, clever, but there might be a couple spots where it might fight you a little bit. And it's got really good weapon storage, all things considered, and it looks really good. So I think it's also a pretty good thing. This would be one of those releases which have a lot more fanfare, but Tarn exists, so Tarn just kind of overshadowed Leo Prime here, even though he's really good. So I would say, yeah, go ahead. Unless you just really do not like Beast Wars stuff, go ahead and pick him up. I think he's a pretty solid figure overall. He's a fun figure, and he looks good. And yeah, there you go. That's all you really need, isn't it? So yeah, he's, the first wave is starting to hit stores and whatnot. I got mine from Pulse, so there you go. I hope you found this review informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. Check out my co-host, co-host.com/Nemesis-Prime, and check out my Ko-fi, my Patreon. And I shall see you next time with another video review.